if they touch, that's great. But just, again, pull, feel the pulling coming up through your ribs, possibly your shoulders. Nice deep breath in and breathe out. Reaching up, breathing in, and allow for the arms to come down. While your arms are up, if you're able to comfortably do this, cross your left arm over your right, or vice versa, doesn't matter. So elbows touching, and very, very gently reach up. Lift. Now, if you can't block your elbow or put your elbows together, just put them like that and reach up like that. Okay? Again, we're not human pretzels. So reach up, breathe in and lower down, breathe out. Let's do that one more time on this side. Reaching up. You may feel this between your shoulder blades. It's your rhomboid muscles and behind your shoulders. Your shoulders relax. Switch over, so right over left. Same thing, breathing in, and as you raise up, as you lower, breathe out. One more time. There are a variety, when you're in an upset state of mind, there are a variety of movement-related things you can do that will allow your body to switch. Two of the main ways that your brain is hardwired to create change is through breathing and through movement. So if you're feeling bummed out about something, if you're feeling angry about something, go for a walk, move, do something, stretch, do some yoga, Tai Chi, whatever. Okay, move. Okay, we do a thing called creative joint play. Do we have a video on that on YouTube? Can't remember. We've got a bunch of YouTube videos where, as I say, when you get the handout, you'll have all these references. You can spend the weekend, make some popcorn, check out. There's something called creative joint play where you're actually moving joints in different ways. Okay? Because what happens is we start off life with all sorts of movements that we're able to do. Once we've developed, obviously, but as a 5-year-old, we have a repertoire of movements that's huge. By the time we get to the age that most of the people are in the room here, certainly over 30, you've narrowed down a range of several thousand movements to about 150. Okay? You know that thing where, I'm going to use your example from this morning, you know when you're sitting on your front veranda and you see someone walking down the street and you go, hey, I recognize that guy, even though you can't see who it is, you not recognize who it is because of their gait pattern? They've locked into a certain restricted set of movements that's so characteristic of them, you can tell who that is even though you can't see who it is. Okay? That's all of us in the room here. We lock in. So start moving. Get blood flowing to other parts of your body. Okay? It's not only good for you physically, it's also good for you for breaking a mood. And that's not suppressing a mood, it's changing your state. Okay? How are we doing for time here? This ends at 1:15, correct? Yeah. So I've got about 15 minutes left. Okay, so I'm going to motor on. I want to talk a little bit about personas. When we were little, we learned to behave in certain ways. We learned to act in certain ways. Because if we act that way, then we get rewarded. And we take that act with us into adulthood in the same way as we take some of the unconscious beliefs. So there are 3 personas. There are 3 main groups of behaviors that people take on. Okay? And those are the victim, the villain, and the hero. I'll give you examples of each. I'm at dinner at a restaurant. I ordered mashed potatoes. The waiter's in a hurry. He brings me fries. What do I say? I don't say anything. I'm Canadian. I'm polite. I don't want to cause a fuss. I'm being a victim. Okay? During a presidential debate, the female candidate will be speaking and talking to the population. Hovering behind her like a chrome-plated fart will be, oh, did I say that? Sorry. Behind her hovering will be this angry, glowering individual who basically is there to interrupt, say, hey, I didn't say that, you did that, blame, accuse. Okay? That's a villain. That's someone who likes to be bossy, or someone who wants to be in charge. God help us all, because now he is. So that's a typical villain. Sorry. And then there's the hero. The hero is the person who gets up really, really early in the morning, drives the kids to whatever, makes breakfast, drives the kids to whatever, comes home, works, comes home, takes the kids to ballet, hockey, Cub Scouts, whatever it is, and at the end of the day, flops into bed and goes, oh, I'm exhausted. Didn't have time to do that meditation today. That's a hero. That's I'm going to make sure that I take care of everybody else. Now, what is wrong with these three personas? And I'm really itemizing this, okay, because we're a little short of time, and I want to make sure that I finish off with some important stuff. But here's the thing. We all have those three characters lurking inside of us, and given any situation, one or more will assert themselves. What's wrong with personas? What's wrong with personas is that personas are not you. Think about it. A hero does not want to change. A hero is helping people. He's a good person, or she's a good person. There's nothing to change. Just doing my job. Right? Selfless individual. So they don't have to change. The villain's certainly not going to change. My way's right. You're the one who needs to change. I don't need you. You need to change. You're all messed up. You got to do this differently. That's the villain. The villain doesn't have to change either. The victim doesn't have to change either. All the victim has to do is look really upset. And what will happen is he'll either attract a hero who will come and save the day, or will attract a villain who will tell him what to do, which helps further validate the fact that they're victims. So if you spend too much time in your role, you become that role. Kurt Vonnegut Jr. always used to say, be careful who you pretend to be, because you end up becoming that person. Okay? You don't want to be that person, because that person isn't you. That's something that you picked up when you were a kid. When I help Mommy, she's really happy. She treats me nicely. And that's the beginning of a hero. Or you have the kid who has the temper tantrum. Guess what he turns into? I've always said that political candidate I referred to earlier on probably just needed a damn good spanking when he was 2 years old, and things could have been so much different. But anyway, sorry, I digress. The cost of a persona is that you have you turn down the suck on the strong emotions. You have a predictable life, but it's predictable to the point where it's possibly boring, because you're not really. The main bad thing about personas, and this is if you leave with nothing else today, remember this, please. Okay, the persona, the act that you're acting is not you. And guess what? The act that you're acting attracts other people who are going to help you with that act. And in other words, they're going to help you reinforce your persona. So a villain is always going to attract frickin' idiots. He's always surrounded by people who need to straighten up, smarten up. Okay? A victim is always going to attract bad stuff. So you get stuck in this kind of loop. Okay? You don't want to be in that. So what do you want to do? Well, you want to be in what's called essence. You want to actually be who you really are at your heart. The way that you're going to do that is by becoming more mindful, becoming more aware. Hey, this situation is going to stress me out. What can I do differently? Hey, I'm feeling angry. I'm feeling upset. I'm feeling stressed for time right now. What can I do differently? If you ignore your anger or your feelings, if you ignore your essence, who you really are, you get to do the same thing all over again tomorrow. Nothing changes. And my assumption is that you're all jammed into this tiny little room together because you want to actually do something differently. And this is what I talked about today, what Roxana and I have actually been talking about today, is all about doing something different. The analogy that I use is, if my car is stuck in the mud, if I got my back wheel spinning around in the mud, or I suppose more seasonally a snowbank, which will soon be happening, I can stand there and go, that's not really happening. I'm just going to forget about this. That doesn't really solve the problem. The wheel's still spinning around, and it's spattering mud or snow all over you and over anyone around you. Pardon me? That too. Yeah, so not a good strategy. The only way that you're going to change things is by saying, my car's stuck right now. I have to acknowledge that it's stuck. What can I do differently? What can I do about this situation? Can I call CAA? Can I whatever? Okay? It's only when you recognize that something's happening rather than suppress it and deny it that you can actually take action to do something differently. I talked about bad, angry feelings before, and I'll just make I'll give you an example of that. Sorry, I hadn't expected that there would be such a lot of people here. One of the exercises that we used to do in our course, we come to schools and do this stuff at schools and stuff. One of the exercises we do at school is we talk about loving something that you don't like about yourself. So I'll give you a real short demonstration of that. One of the things that I do not like about myself is the fact that I'm bald. Very attractive looking, especially in a personal trainer. Because people choose personal trainers and they go, I want to look just like him. Well, guess what? A lot of people don't want to look like me. Big surprise there. So the exercise, and the first time I did this, I thought, this is stupid. But the exercise is, write, I love my baldness. So I wrote, I love my baldness. And I'm thinking, no, I don't. I really don't. And they said, write it again. I wrote it again. I'm going, no, this really isn't going to make a big difference. This is just really stupid. Wrote it again. And as I started being with that discomfort, I realized that one of the reasons that I don't like being bald is because I look like Santa Claus. Oh. I don't want to look like Santa Claus. I don't want to be the old guy that people hold the door open for or give me their seat on the bus. That's not me. I rock climb. I climb mountains. I run. I do all sorts of, all those things that people do. I don't want to be that guy. What am I really worried about when I talk about being bald? I'm worried about losing my independence. I'm worried about people feeling sorry for me. I don't want that. I don't want to be dependent on people. I don't want to lose my independence. Now, knowing that is a whole lot different than I hate my baldness. Because what that means is I now have a choice. I can make a decision. And my decision is, hey, you know what? I know that eating certain types of food is going to help me stay healthy longer. Being active is going to help me stay healthy longer. Working on stress management, meditating, being mindful is going to help me live longer. Having a good relationship with my lovely wife. All of these things are going to help me be healthy and be the best me I can be. And so I can wear the Santa Claus hat and not worry about people feeling sorry for me. Or thinking that, hey, gosh, if he was blue, he'd look like Papa Smurf. God knows, I've thought that sometimes. So, what are we talking about? When we talk about being with anger, being with difficult emotions, when we talk about exploring our essence, what we're really talking about is self-acceptance. Is recognizing, hey, you know what? When I was 4, something bad happened to me. But you know what? That was then. This is now. That doesn't have to run my program now. I can choose differently. So with being with those feelings of upset and whatever, okay, what we're really doing is we're learning to be equanimous. We're learning to give some distance to those. Yeah, it's not pleasant, but I don't have to become entangled in it. Okay? And with that acceptance of whatever the weakness, perceived or otherwise is, comes a certain amount of, if I can use this word, self-loving. Okay? Self-esteem building. And that's really important. Okay? I'm going to ask you, I'm going to finish off today with, I'm going to ask you to actually try a guided meditation. So, again, I want you to close your eyes, relax into your seat, or as much as you can if you're standing. Get in touch with your breath. That is to say, breathe deeply, fill your lungs, fill the backs of your lungs by your kidneys, really feel the air coming in. And breathe out. Relax. Relax your muscles. If your jaws are tight, relax those. I'm going to read some, I'm going to call them affirmations. And I'm going to ask you to repeat them in your head. And some of them are going to resonate with you. And those that do are the ones that you want to take home with you, if you will. So, as I say the affirmation, let it play in your mind, run it through your mind, breathe, let it sit and settle in. See if it integrates, does it feel right for you? So, here we go. Just deep breath in. I choose to breathe deeply and fully throughout the day. I choose to take time for myself every day. I choose to explore and challenge my limiting beliefs. I allow thoughts to come and go without struggling with them. I accept that imperfection is a shared human experience. I look for the gift and opportunity in each obstacle that I encounter. When you're ready, back to the room, open your eyes. I want to thank everyone for coming today, especially the people in the back who have stood through this. I know what it's like to stand through a lecture. I do it all the time. So thank you all for coming today. You all have evaluations. I really appreciate whatever feedback you can give me on the evaluations. I very, very carefully do them. Lastly, I would ask that you, if you're interested in receiving, gosh, I don't even remember, there's at least 9 activities that we've done in here. Detailed notes on how to do these, so that you can do them for yourself, or you can do them with your students in classes. Okay? I would ask that you that you print your email on a sheet of paper with your name, and I will email the notes to you. If you would like to receive a newsletter that happens once every 6 months, whether you need it or not, then just write yes. If you don't want the newsletter, just write no, and all I'll do is I'll send you the handouts for the activities, and then I will delete your name from my email list. Okay? So, hand in give me your, please, this is really important. If you hand me your email, please make sure that it's absolutely perfectly written. Every year I get emails and I look and I go, is that a 1 or an I? And it turns out it's a 7. And I don't end up sending the stuff to the person there thinking, gee, he said he was going to send it, and he didn't send it to me. and I feel bad. So please, if you want me to send you something through the email, please make sure that your email, your name is printed and your email address is printed so that there's no way that I can possibly make a mistake. I will make sure that I send that email to you certainly by tomorrow. This time tomorrow it will be in your inbox. Thank you.
Yes, you can. I will have a couple of sheets in the back here for emails, and one or two outside on the table. So.
That would help. If you don't mind writing it down, otherwise I'll Yes. They'll all be everything that I got for today, I'm sorry, that's all I got for today. Never done before. Very good. Just email me and I'll grab Oh, no, we're doing. Oh, yeah. I love it.
I'll grab the right for this. If that's what I can do,
You guys
The important stuff is breathing, teach the breathing, and you'll see the difference, and they'll see the difference. Yeah, that's yes. Yeah, no, it's okay.
I'd rather give it to you. Oh, I think it's her.
Someone lose their cell phone?
All the information there. Thank you. So phone numbers there, all the stuff. Super. What's she? Oh, thank you, Denise. I thought, what are you going to do with this?
See you later.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Super.
I didn't buy anything. So much free stuff.
Oh, thank you. Did you want to write it? Actually, no, just.
Is that for the newspaper? You have to a while back.
How do you like it? Well, that's a little less acerbic, perhaps. I think if three guesses which one I was. That would be great.
Stick around.
Yeah, that was just got back from Downstairs.
Oh, please say, please say.
Just such a wonder.
Oh, please say that I'm home with running program.
Oh, really?
That's right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide between two.
Oh, please say.
I'm not sure.
Mom, please say.
We're half and half.
I just got back from community service for but I can't get it. I live in Europe, 20 years. I can't switch them. I can't use blood because I live there.
You want to get up this other way?
Are you ready?
Oh, we're still not the.
That was for you.
This is not, I'm not worried about this. The annual public.
Yes, we are. I'm early, yours was very successful.
Oh, was it? Oh, good.
Let's see what you think about it.
That's good to know.
You're here. That's okay.
Are these tables movable? Sorry? Are these tables movable? Hang on, let me just turn this off. I can't remember how to do it. Oh, there we go.